Hello, it's great to be back with the viewers of Hoai-Ka the Single Mother. Today I will tell you a thrilling story about Hong's mother who plotted to harm Hoai-Ka. Her scheme nearly cost Hoai-Ka her life. However, the police discovered it and devised a plan to arrest her. The big question is whether the police will succeed in capturing Hong's mother, the one behind this criminal plot. Will justice be served, and will this mother pay for her actions? The story becomes even more intense as new developments keep emerging. The police have been relentlessly working to uncover clues, searching for her everywhere. But will they be able to catch up? Meanwhile, Hoai-Ka, still haunted by the memories of the near-fatal attack, continues to worry about her and Tony's safety. Now all hopes rest on the police force. Do they have what it takes to handle this villain, bring her into the light, and allow Hoai-Ka to find peace again in her life? If you want to see justice served and Hong's mother held accountable for her actions, don't forget to like and follow the channel to keep up with this thrilling story. In a small enclosed room, the task force sat down to discuss the plan for capturing the suspect. The chief of police, along with other officers including Hong, were all present. Everyone was serious and determined. Each person's gaze reflected their unwavering resolve, knowing that this was a crucial case that couldn't afford any mistakes. The chief of police stood up, looked into each face, and began assigning tasks. Every member of the task force had their own responsibilities, from following up on leads, identifying the suspect's whereabouts, to preparing countermeasures for unexpected situations. They all understood that time was running out and every minute mattered. After the tasks were clearly assigned, the chief of police issued a firm order. We must act quickly. Arrest the suspect as soon as possible, not giving her a chance to escape again. With the order given, the team immediately dispersed and began executing the plan. One by one, they stepped out with unwavering determination, each person knowing that this was their chance to bring justice for Hoai-Ka and Tony. At that moment, one of the officers assigned to the hotspots where the suspect and her associates frequently visited was tirelessly checking every address, asking the local residents for any information. Every question and glance he gave was sharp, not overlooking any small detail that could help locate the suspect. Any clue, no matter how minor, was carefully recorded, becoming a crucial piece in the bigger puzzle of the capture plan. Meanwhile, Hong was at another hotspot, believing this could be where the suspect was hiding, or at least a place she often visited. He didn't stop searching, asking person after person if they knew anything about the suspect. He stopped at nearby tea stalls, places where suspicious individuals might choose to hide. He questioned each vendor carefully, wanting to know if the suspect frequently visited these shops. Hong's questions were not rushed, but very meticulous. Each time he asked, he listened attentively to every answer, committing the details to memory with precision. Although each person in the task force had their own mission, they all shared one common goal: to capture the suspect as quickly as possible. Even the smallest lead could bring them closer to their target. While the officer was investigating the hotspots, Hong was searching for any trace in the surrounding area, looking for any information that could be the key to solving the complex puzzle they were facing. Finally, after a period of searching, Hong decided to visit a tea shop located far from the town. This small shop, although not large, was quiet and a place not many people knew about. Hong entered the counter quietly, took out his police business card, and asked the staff, "Do you know this person?" He handed over the card, hoping that the staff member would recognize it and provide some information. The staff member looked at the card carefully for a moment, and then his expression changed dramatically. Immediately, he lowered his head and whispered to Hung, "He's upstairs." Without hesitation, Hung pulled out his phone and called another officer in the task force to relay this critical information. His voice was tense, but quickly he conveyed everything he had just heard. Meanwhile, the suspect they were tracking, hired by Hung's mother to capture Huai Ka, was unaware that danger was closing in. He sat leisurely, leaning back in his chair, calmly smoking a cigarette, completely unaware that he was being watched. It seemed like he believed everything was still under control. The other officer arrived at the location, as per Hung's directions. But instead of acting immediately, Hung decided to pause and strategize with his teammate. The two of them exchanged details for a while, meticulously calculating each move. After finalizing their plan, they decided to take action. Hung would be the one to go first, luring the suspect into the trap, while the other officer would be ready behind. Hung walked up to the counter and pretended to be a regular customer casually ordering a drink. He didn't rush, walking slowly while still chatting on the phone, trying to appear as natural as possible. Sure enough, this approach worked. The suspect didn't suspect a thing and continued sitting upstairs, unaware and unalerted. As Hung got closer, he suddenly stood up, flashed his police badge and said, "Please cooperate with the task force. We need to take you to the station for questioning about the kidnapping." Hung's words weren't loud but strong enough to startle the suspect. His face changed instantly, and his eyes darted around as if searching for an escape route. However, not long after, he stubbornly denied any wrongdoing, refusing to admit to any crimes. Realizing he had no way out, the suspect began to look around frantically, trying to flee. At that moment, just as he rushed toward the door, the other officer quickly appeared from behind, drawing his gun and shouting, "Stop, hands in the air!" The command was given, and the suspect immediately froze, knowing there was no way to escape. Without giving him a chance to resist, Hung quickly closed in from behind, cuffed the suspect, and together with the officer, escorted him to the station. Their footsteps echoed on the quiet ground, creating a sense that everything had come to an end. Hung and his teammate carried out the arrest swiftly and decisively, without hesitation. The capture of the suspect was the result of patient and meticulous work. Even though the suspect continued to deny his guilt, the truth was undeniable. Hung, along with his colleagues in the task force, knew that today they had fulfilled their duty and brought justice to Huai Ka and her family. The police officer and Hung successfully escorted the suspect to the station. Once they arrived, both quickly reported to the commander that they had captured the suspect that the task force had been chasing for so long. The atmosphere at the station was tense, but at the same time there was a sense of joy as the case had reached a critical stage. At the station, the suspect still maintained an arrogant attitude, refusing to admit to any wrongdoing. He stubbornly denied all charges, claiming that he was innocent and had no involvement in the case. However, the commander remained unfazed. With his investigative experience, he knew that there was only one way to make the suspect confess the truth. He began using professional interrogation techniques to make the suspect feel that there was no way out. Realizing he was in a tight spot, the suspect started to waver. In the end, he decided to confess everything, knowing that if he was truthful, he would receive leniency from the law. He admitted that it was Hung's mother who had hired him and his associates to carry out the plot to harm Hoai-Ka. After receiving the money, he immediately fled. He also revealed that Hung's mother, scared and fearful of being discovered, had fled to the border, not daring to show her face. Upon hearing this, Hung felt as though the world had collapsed around him. He couldn't believe what he had just heard. His own mother, the person he had always respected and loved, was the one behind this cruel plot. Despite the shock, Hung remained resolute in his commitment to the law. No matter how close she was to him, he couldn't allow this case to be forgotten. He knew that without appropriate punishment, those who had harmed Hoai-Ka would continue to spread evil. Hung felt a deep inner conflict, but his decision remained unchanged. He would not allow anyone, even family, to escape the punishment of the law. Hoai-Ka's story had deeply touched his heart. He loved her dearly and could not accept the fact that vile people had conspired to harm her. Would Hung's mother be exposed and face the punishment she deserved? The answer will be revealed in the next episode. Don't miss the exciting and tense developments in this story. Hoi ChatGPT.
Nghe đến đây, Hùng cảm thấy như cả thế giới sụp đổ. Anh không thể tin vào những gì mình đã nghe. Mẹ của anh, người anh luôn kính trọng và yêu thương, lại là kẻ đứng sau âm mưu hãm hại này. Tuy nhiên, trong lòng Hùng vẫn kiên định với pháp luật. Dù là mẹ ruột của mình, anh không thể để vụ án này chìm vào quên lãng. Anh biết rằng nếu không có sự trừng phạt thích đáng, những kẻ hãm hại Hoai-Ka sẽ tiếp tục gieo rắc tội ác. Hùng cảm thấy vô cùng mâu thuẫn trong lòng, nhưng quyết định của anh vẫn không thay đổi. Anh sẽ không để bất kỳ ai, dù là người thân, thoát khỏi sự trừng phạt của pháp luật. Câu chuyện của Hoai-Ka cũng khiến trái tim anh rung động. Anh rất yêu cô và không thể chấp nhận được những kẻ xấu xa đã âm mưu làm hại cô. Liệu mẹ Hùng có bị đưa ra ánh sáng và nhận sự trừng phạt xứng đáng? Câu trả lời sẽ được hé lộ trong phần tiếp theo. Đừng bỏ lỡ những diễn biến hấp dẫn và căng thẳng trong câu chuyện này.